Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tom. Online I go by CalzonOP, and welcome to the video. If you guys are new here, we play a lot of Apex, a little bit of Fortnite, and then we throw in some Rocket League. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my first impressions on the Ducky 1.2 Mini. I just received it today, and I ordered it about a month and a half ago, or give or take, off mechanicalkeyboards.com. And before you think, oh, wait, oh, it's an advertisement. Believe me, it's not. I got about 100 subscribers on here, and if they're sponsoring people with 100 subscribers, a lot of people would be sponsored, let's just say that. So, if you want to support your boy, make sure you hit that wonderful subscribe button. Thanks, and here we go. So to give you some background information, I've been gaming for about 15 years, mainly first-person shooters, third-person shooters, that sort of thing. Anywhere between Counter-Strike to Wolfenstein to Fortnite, and now to Apex Legends. For the past couple of years, I've been going with the Corsair K70 with the red switches. Great keyboard, nothing bad to really say about it. The only issue is it's fairly large, and I kind of wanted to just change it up with the switches. I wanted to go maybe browns, maybe silvers. I wasn't quite sure on which way I wanted to go. And I ended up going with the browns, and I'm actually super glad that I went with the browns. I wanted something in between, like a red or a blue, because I wanted some sort of like a tactile feel where the reds are linear and they don't really give me that experience. So sometimes I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be hitting the key or not, and with the browns it has that nice in between that I was really looking for. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice with the 1.2 Mini is that, like the name suggests, it is mini. This is probably the only time you're ever going to want something like that. As far as that goes, it's a wonderful keyboard. I've used it for a couple of hours on Apex, so like I said before, this is just a first look. It's not a set-in-stone review. I may come out with another video maybe within the next couple of months after using it and giving it a good enough playthrough. But as far as that goes, it is an exceptional keyboard for the couple of hours that I have used it. With this keyboard, there really wasn't much that I needed to adjust to. Everything seemed very, very natural. The price. This keyboard retails at $99 on mechanicalkeyboard.com. Mind you, it does take about a month and a half to actually receive it after pre-ordering it. At least that's what it was for me, and I've had other friends that have had a similar experience. It is well worth the wait. Now, when I did receive the Ducky, the one slight issue I had was it came in demo mode. So I had to look that up, and thankfully I was streaming while I received it, and we had a viewer, or two actually. We had Swan and Scotty, shout out to you guys, help me out with the problem over there. If you order one and you run into the issue of it being in demo mode, or essentially you not being able to input keystrokes into your computer, you hold Control, Shift, and Caps Lock, and then plug it in. And right after I did that, it worked like a charm. Another thing I really like was the feel of the keycaps themselves. I know a lot of people go for rubber keycaps, which I may do in the future. I'm not 100% sure, but I hear they're not the easiest to clean. Now, these, as far as I'm concerned, are good enough for me. And besides the keycaps, the overall button layout and FN system that they use, or function system that they use, Because this is a 60% keyboard, you do not have F1 through 10, as well as no numpad and arrow keys, as well as page, up, down, delete, insert, etc., etc. So instead of actually having those physical keys, you use the alphabetical keys and so on and so forth, along with the FN and other keys. Basically, macros on macros. It sounds kind of complicated. It's extremely simple, and Ducky gives you a guide that shows you in depth how everything works, which is a huge plus for Ducky. Especially being from Taiwan, I was kind of skeptical whether or not it's going to be in English, and they have a section completed in English, and it's very, very easy to understand. Now, another key component to this keyboard is their RGB system. Their RGB, or their red, green, blue, has to be the greatest LED keyboard I have ever seen on the market. It's extremely fluid, extremely easy to switch. You don't need any software, and it's as simple as pressing FN, Alt, and T, and that's all you have to do in order to change the color setup. There's 10 different presets, so you can go from wave to fully backlit to radar. There's so many cool features that you can do that are just customized already on the keyboard. Now, as far as the switches go, I know I mentioned it earlier. I did go with the brown switches. I definitely recommend them because they're a great balance between typing as well as gaming. I don't have two separate keyboards, one dedicated to gaming and one dedicated to just general use. So as far as that goes, I would highly recommend the browns if you're kind of in that same situation. If not, there are kits, I believe they're on Amazon or eBay, where you can actually buy like a sample per se, and it'll have all these general switches that come on keyboards, and you can basically try them out, see what you think, and you can kind of go from there. Especially after waiting a month and a half for a keyboard, if let's say you buy blacks, for example, or reds, and you're not used to that linear feedback, you may regret waiting a month and a half to just have to return it and get another one. So that's also something to keep in mind. You can also go into like your local computer retailer and just check out the keyboards, and odds are they're going to have at least reds, blues, maybe even browns, so you can at least get a feel for them instead of just having to wait for a month and a half and then realizing, oh wow, I am actually not that crazy about it. You know what I mean? If you want to play it safe, I would definitely opt for the browns. On a side note, Tfues also uses them. The main reason I wanted this keyboard over a lot of the other ones, the size is perfect. I needed the extra room for my mouse because I kept banging my mouse into the keyboard because I just didn't have space. The price at $99, or let's just round it up to $100, you really can't go wrong. The RGB. The RGB is fantastic. It is the best I've ever seen on an LED keyboard, and I 100% recommend it if you're into RGB. The switches are phenomenal. You can get browns on other keyboards, obviously, but as far as the whole integration, the button layout, the feel of the keycaps, and it being at that $100 price point, it's very much worth. Not to mention, they also give you free keycaps that are randomized, so no Ducky is alike. Alright, so now a note on the build quality. A lot of the reviews that you see online will mention if you were to flex the back of the keyboard, it will start to bend. Now, through all my experience, when you use a keyboard, you kind of just place it there, you game, and it stays there. You know, maybe if you go to LAN or a tournament, you might move it once in a while, but for the most part, it's a stationary object. You really don't have to worry about it flexing. When I held and examined the board when I just got it, I definitely was not worried about the build quality whatsoever. It feels like an extremely well-made product, and I wouldn't worry about it. I think a lot of the reviewers are just spoiled for having an aluminum or steel back, and they're kind of expecting that. You have to understand this board is made out of plastic. And once again, at the $99 or $100 price point, you really can't expect much more than that. So as long as you don't do this, or this, you should be okay. Alright guys, just to sum this video up real quick, I know it's getting a little long, and if you made it this far, I do really appreciate it. If you're looking for a keyboard under $100, $150, the Ducky 1-2 Mini should definitely be on your list. I would check it around if you are going to be video editing, if you're going to be using the delete keys or the arrow keys or anything like that, then maybe a 60% keyboard is not for you. But as far as this goes, I edited this whole video on the Ducky 1-2 Mini, and I had no problem. If you're a more advanced editor and you have to use the arrow keys constantly, maybe you might want another keyboard. But for solid gaming, I can't recommend this enough. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. This is the first time I did like an actual full-on voiceover, so any feedback would be awesome. I know this video's a little long like I said before, so I'm going to try to slim it down for the next one. And until next time guys, if you aren't subscribed, if you haven't liked this video, make sure you do that. And until next time, your boy, Calzone, is out. Peace.